the Governor General of Northern Nigeria at that time said something like, they taught people how to read and write, but there were no books, no reading material. And so he said, we have taught people how to ride horses, but we have given them no horses to ride. And I think this is the situation we're in here. We have people who have access to our communities, who want to propagate the good work we are doing, but if we don't empower them with information, then they get nothing done. And a lot of the times we feel pity for some of our supporters. They are pushed to silence online because they don't have the staff. So for giving us this opportunity also to come and make a presentation, I really appreciate this. And I'm pleased with the opening statements by the National Secretary. This is a president who, for instance, has strengthened the office of the Auditor General of the Federation in order to make sure that every amount of money that is paid to ministries and the agencies is accounted for at the end of the day. Before 2015, you can almost say that the office and the business of the Accountant General of the Federation has been abolished. Because, and we're hearing this from the National Assembly sessions when they call it audit query issued for 4 years is not responded to. Now do that under Buhari and you see what will follow. You are given 2 weeks to answer audit query. If you don't do it, you are in trouble. He said, look, I'm not going to do around good government at the top when the lower levels of government are doing badly. Today, as I speak to you, the president has almost concluded and is going to embark upon this in partnership with the World Bank and the states in the country to inaugurate fiscal accountability, transparency, and sustainability program. And the aim is to ensure that there is good governance, there is accountability, there is transparency at the sub-national level. So that when people say there is good governance at the center, and then they say local government is dead, they will come back. All of the things that are going on now in the country, financial independence for local councils, financial independence for judiciary, financial independence for state assemblies, this is the only way democracy will work in this country. In my own practice, PR journalism, I've been to Kuje, I've been to jail, I've been to seized my passport and all of this is not happening in this country to journalists today. Freedom of the press is there for everyone, almost to a fault. President Buhari does not kill political opponents. I'm not making accusations against anyone, but read the history books, you know what has happened in this country in the past. President Muhammadu Buhari ranks among the toughest African leaders against violence against women, against rape, against sexual molestation. I'm not saying this of Nigeria, but if you look around the continent, there are leaders who consider women in their nations as also possessions of the leader to be abused. So there are a lot of qualitative things. We take for granted. We don't reflect on these things and we think, say people will open their mouth and say Buhari has done nothing. Yeah, Buhari can be accused for not executing opponents. You know, he doesn't take the laws into his hands. He doesn't order judges to say, jail this man or that woman. or free that man or that woman, even if it is a family member. When they cross the lines of the law, President Buhari does not say set them free. Under his watch, this country's highest law officer has been put to trial and convicted. The third most important public official on the executive side. So much for the intangibles. Let me look at, okay, before I look at, and these things about, look at what is happening with the treasury single accounts and all of these things that are happening. If you go to the office of the Accountant General of the Federation today, there's a massive TV screen where you will see any government agency today that moves 5 million naira and above. It is showing there. And the president is able to see this on screen. So it's not possible for somebody, because he's a big man, to order the accountant of the office and say, go and bring dollar or pounds and take it to my house. So today, Nigerians, you read on the web, Facebook, all of these things. Nigerians will take picture of a policeman that harasses them. Look at all of these things that are going with NSAS commissions, judicial inquiry. I was stopped at a checkpoint 5 years ago. They demanded bribe for me, or they seized my money. I was coming from the airport. My suitcase was removed. And then they are able to name officers, and people are being brought to trial today. Again, we're asking Nigerians, don't take these things for granted. The 327 kilometer Itape Warri standard gauge rail line. In the last few days, it's being used to transport huge pipelines for the construction of the AKK gas pipeline. This is a rail track that they started laying 33 years ago. President Buhari finished it and he has put it to use now. The Abuja Kaduna, they claim they finished it, which is not true. Even the electronics, the electric part of it was not done. More than 20% of the job was left undone. President Buhari completed it and is now, in fact, being used to fight banditry, because the rail is a safe means of transportation against bandits that at some point had impacted on that road. The Abuja light rail is today in use and is being expanded. And now the groundbreaking ceremony had been undertaken for the revamping of the Port Harcourt Maiduguri narrow gauge rail line. And the financing is today being discussed and about being finalized for the Ibadan Kano rail projects. And of course, you also know that the groundbreaking ceremony had been done of also the Kano Katsina Maradi rail line, standard gauge rail line. Now, with roads, we have in place what President Buhari calls PID, Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund. He has funded it, he is funding it with more than $1 billion. And this is why work is going on unstoppably on the Abuja, Kaduna, Zaria, Kano Expressway, on the Lagos, Ibadan Expressway, and on the second Niger Bridge. Today, as we speak, government is even looking beyond the government funding. It is opening up the funding for road infrastructure to private investors. There is the one we call Executive Order 7, by which you have bridges like the Bodo Boni in Rivers, the Apapa Oshodi Oronsheki Ojota in Lagos. These things are going on. There's also the Highway Development Management Initiative, which is a public-private partnership. And in the first phase, over a trillion naira of private investment into the development and maintenance of 12 roads in the country, totaling to about 2,000 kilometers in length, are being done. More than 360 billion naira has been raised from Sukuk funds, and a lot of roads in critical need for repair are being attended to from 2017 to now. In a nutshell, there are more than 600 road projects, federal road projects that are ongoing now. And most of them have been found to have been commenced and abandoned. Contracts for roads were just being given in order to please, to generate publicity and take credit, but funding was not being done. And I give you one example: Kano Katsina Dual Expressway, Dual Carriageway. 2 years before Muhammad Buhari came into office, there was a big ceremony. President cutting tape to declare not 1 naira was paid to contractor for all the 2 years. Now go and see, more than half of that road is done, and it is still going. And there are so many of these roads across the country. I will talk about the ports now. And you know that as we speak today, new terminals for international airports for Lagos, Abuja, Kano, and Port Harcourt have been accomplished. Port Harcourt has already been commissioned, Abuja commissioned. The others are on the way to being ceremonially put to being commissioned. Government has also constructed new runway for Abuja and the Enugu airports. Enugu International Airport is world class today. And there is also approval that has been given by government for private sector funded deep sea ports. Deep sea ports, the Lekki deep sea port in Lagos, and construction is already underway and is due for completion in 2022. The Boni River State deep sea port, the Ibom deep sea port, and the Warri deep sea port. Now, let's talk about power. Government has instituted what it calls energizing education program, by which universities are being taken out of the national grid system and being powered by clean energy, solar powered energy. And today, this project is complete in at least 4 universities. BUK, Funai in Ebonyi, ATBU Bauchi, and Fupre in Delta. There's also the program of energizing economies program, by which big markets in the country are being isolated again and being powered with solar energy 24 hours in a day. And as we speak today, this program has been accomplished in Sabongari market in Kano, Ariara market, I hope I got it right, Ariaria market in Abang, and the Sura shopping complex in Lagos. There's also the ongoing mass metering program. It's a big issue for the country. People take power, they don't pay, and then when it fails, they abuse government. By December this year, last year, Central Bank had issued 14 billion naira under Obasanjo, had envisioned all of this evolution of trades. When they left government in 1979, politicians abandoned this NLG development program. And as destiny will have it, Buhari has come back in another form as civilian, and he has picked it up from there, and this is where we are today. We had in 2021, we have early in this year, signed with Morocco an agreement to develop a multi-purpose platform, an industrial platform that will utilize Nigeria's gas and Moroccan phosphate to produce 750 tons of ammonia and 1 million tons of phosphate fertilizers annually from 2025. And this project is being located in Akwa Ibom State. So congratulations, National Secretary.